the most practical, speediest way possible to become someone who is magnetic to an incredible, quick-moving, emotionally connected relationship is what I'm going to talk about today, using this hopefully very clear and delightful visual that will help make this so easy to understand and immediately implementable, because I had to study this for about 6 months before it was possible for me to really live into this and embody the energetic shift that I'm going to talk about today. Because that is where it starts. It starts with an energetic shift. First of all, you have to become this person who can embody the energy we're going to talk about and really regulate yourself during the dating process so that you're no longer being wishy-washy, which is what we're going to discover by observing these glasses of water, or this empty glass as we can currently see. The root of this teaching is energetic practice, and specifically feminine energy. So very first, I want to dispel any myths about feminine energy that you might be living under trying to date with currently. Feminine energy at its root is just what is. That is the big, grand essence of feminine energy. It is what is. So often these days, there are a lot of messages around feminine being soft, feminine being nurturing, feminine being passive. In fact, feminine energy is just what is at your core. So it's all about what is authentically happening inside of you for men and women all the time. Whatever it is, that is what's true. And becoming energetically magnetic is about pulling your own energy, your energy that's true for you, even if it's not soft and nurturing and passive, all back towards yourself. Becoming magnetic is about drawing, feminine magnetism is about drawing energy into yourself. And so the very first thing you have to be able to do is draw it in, your own energy into yourself. Now, what about these glasses of water? Let's talk about it. So what we have here is two people. So we have, let's say this might be you, and this might be the man that you would like to date. You've just swiped on a dating app and found this man right here. This is an empty glass currently. This is your potential relationship. And what are we going to do with this relationship? Inside each of our cups, you've got you and him. There's energy. This water is actually magical energy. And what we want to have happen when we create a relationship, hopefully this is super simple for you. Hopefully this part is like, yes, I'm doing that, spot on. The next part is where I want you to be careful. So healthy relationship looks like this.
We got, ooh, a little bit into the relationship, ooh, a little bit into the relationship, yeah, a little bit more.
Okay, we're building energy in between us. Remember, energy is exponential, so even though water in these glasses is finite, energy coming out from both of you would be refilling. Your cups would be refilling theoretically. It's not a perfect model. What we have now is you've both poured energy into this relationship. Lovely. Now here's something that can happen, is that someone stops putting energy into the relationship. And what happens over here is this person's like, well, there's all this happening over here though, right? Like all of this energy is still stirring, and then they think maybe I'll just put a little bit more. And this usually looks like texting to be like, hey, are we doing whatever? And not in a really connected, emotionally honest way, right? So not from the feminine energy pulled into yourself way. It tends to be more into the like, oh, we were gonna do that, remember? Hey, just checking to see how you are today. I'm gonna text you something that's not really relevant, but I was thinking about it. Here's a meme that was cute. This is, as you can see, a demonstration of how energy is going into something that's not evolving in a relationship, two-sided. Right? One person is putting energy into one thing without it being mutual. Now here's what I recommend you do instead, is you get really good at pulling your own energy back towards yourself. So even though you've built some energy here, the energy stops coming from the other person. That's when, instead of, ooh, keep pouring energy in, right? This is what I used to do. I was a big fan of continuing to invest, because there was a withdrawal of attention or affection or energy. And instead what you want to do is you want to, in that instance, first pull the energy back to yourself. So first, before you do anything, you pull the energy back to you. that you invested, right? You don't need to take element, be generous, What does this look like when you've pulled the energy back to yourself? It means that you're no longer over here. You're no longer in this relationship, which is very young, okay? This is a very young energetic relationship. You're no longer over here being like, what happened here? Why didn't he text me here? Why isn't this happening, right? Because that's all putting energy into this, or even worse, because this is what often happens for people. This is what you really want to be aware of. You're like, what is he thinking? Why did he stop texting me? Where did he go? Was it something I said? And you're spending all of your energy on him. That is the opposite of feminine, because the feminine is the energy inside of you, authentic and real energy inside of you. And you might be thinking, yeah, well, authentically, I'm over here wondering what the heck is going on with him. That is fine. And also, first, before you do anything and get into this kind of thought pattern, pull the energy back to yourself. So instead of thinking, what is he doing? What's going on with him? How is he over there? You're instead thinking, ooh, I'm having a response. I'm feeling scattered. I'm feeling abandoned. I'm feeling left alone. I'm feeling worried. This is the energy that comes back to you. You have to get really in touch with what is going on for you. That is the feminine response. Instead of being over in his energy, over here, being like, what's he thinking? What's going on with him? Where is he? What's he up to? Giving him all of that energy, all of that energetic focus. You're gonna pull it back to you and say, what's going on with me? How am I today? Why am I not okay without this person who I just met a week, 2 weeks ago? What is going on for me? How do I feel? And you begin to respond from that place to yourself, okay? You're pulling all of your energy back to you, to your energetic body. And what happens over time as you practice that is you get really good at the mutual thing that I demonstrated at the beginning, the healthy relationship response where both people are equally putting in energy to the connection, and you automatically become less interested in these people over here who aren't giving you attention or aren't giving equal energy into the relationship, because every time that happened, you came back to yourself instead of going over to them and putting all your energetic effort into them, which creates addiction to them, by the way. And when I say them, it creates addiction to your projection of them, because this is all happening inside your head. That's another thing I want to say. At this stage of relationship, much of what's happening is usually assumptions, right? So I assume you do this and that means this. I assume you text me this and that means that. Instead of really taking things at face value, if you are getting energetically entwined, you're probably assuming a lot about that person without actually expressing, sharing the words that would confirm or cancel out what you believe is happening between you. So highly, highly important to be able to hold your energy in yourself. Oh no, I took his little vampire energy there. Okay, here we go. Pretty equal again. This is how we like to meet. All right, so the idea is that you, every time, and you can remember this little visual, keeping your glass of water full at the beginning stages of dating, actually all the way through relationships, this is where your power lies. Your power lies in your own cup of energy. So if you are depleting it in order to get a relationship going, or you are depleting it, throwing your own energy at another person, thinking, what is he up to? Where did he go? What is he thinking? What does he want from me? Instead of, how am I doing? What's going on for me? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? You don't leave any space for him, first of all, to contribute to the relationship, right? If you're constantly over here being like, woo, you don't leave a lot of space for him to put in the effort, the interest, the affection, all of the care that would usually be going into a mutual relationship. So put it back in your own cup. Stop thinking about him. Stop obsessing over the relationship and get into the practice. And this is a practice. You don't have to become immediately a perfect goddess at pulling your own energy back to yourself and really using your own mindset as a tool to think about yourself and your own response and your own behavior. You can practice little by little over time. Again, this took me 6 months to get, so with this visual, I want to speed it up, but you know, it's a practice that takes time to retrain in your brain and your body, because our brains tend to want to figure out what's wrong. Why did he go away? Where is he? What's happening? Instead of pulling the energy back to ourselves. Most of us were not trained to do that automatically, but I would love it if you trained yourself or else reached out to me to help you do this, to train yourself to get back into your own body, your own energy, having your own energetic presence. Once you become someone with that much energetic capacity to pull things back to yourself on demand, when you want to, on your own terms, that is when everything changes. That is when the game changes in relationships across the board, but especially in dating, when dealing with attraction and erotic energy and really powerful, passionate, relational energy. That's how it can become for you, is you can become someone who's really in command of your own energetic presence, and you don't even need to worry all the time about this going on over here, because it just dissipates. If you can really, really pull it back to yourself, pour into your own cup whenever you sense that there's an unequal relationship thing happening. And what comes next is absolute magic, because you can really get into that mutual, totally loving, very equal, very connected, amazing relationship happening, which then means that all of a sudden both your cups will be full, and you'll have created this incredible energy between the two of you that is this third-party relationship that you share. Subscribe if this was helpful, and if you want more ways to stay in your feminine while inviting him to spend more energy in the relationship, check out this video right here, and I hope to see you in next week's video.